and gentlemen, we are the singers of Palm Isles, and this is our annual Patriotic Concert. We're a club, and our purpose is to enjoy singing as a group and to bring joy to all who hear us. We meet every Monday from 1:15 to 2:30, all through the year. And if you hear somebody singing next to you that sounds pretty good, please send them in our direction right next door at MBR and have you sit in on a rehearsal and hopefully join us. I'm Irene Soskin, the president of the Singers Club. More important, there is our accompanist, Peter Dino. Yay, Peter. It is my honor this afternoon to welcome the crew of Fire Station 47. Now, I'm going to make a guess, but I would assume that Mr. Totsi, you are the one in white?
No, he's not here.
Oh, he's not here. Well, why do you have a white shirt on and they have a black shirt on?
Because I'm the captain.
There we go. Oh, fine. Another round of applause for the captain. Good. Captain, do you have a name?
Paul.
Paul. Yeah. And could you give us the name of the gentlemen who are with you?
Riley, he's my driver.
Yes.
And Carol, our firefighter.
Firefighter. Somebody suggested to me that I can't resist doing it. How nice of whoever did it to send us the cutest ones of the I couldn't resist that. I would also proud to bring to your attention that we have our own cops, all in white and please stand. Cops don't want to stand, but there they are. They'll have a stand-up cop. Yay, that's right. Yay, that's it. Thank you very much. And we are being recorded for posterity, and Art Grossman is behind the one of the two tripods that we have, and is going to get, yay, there, right. Excellent. And if you, my favorite, if you already have not done so, take this moment to turn off your cell phones. And I make the same speech every time I do this. Do not say to yourself that nobody is going to call you, because I know for a fact, in the umpteen years that I have made this speech, that somebody's granddaughter or grandson is going to say this is a perfect time to call. And the worst part about it all is what's going to happen. Somebody here is going to answer it. And meanwhile, the ring won't have been on key, so it's going to mess up. And it's going to be, we're here to talk, oh yes dear, how nice to hear from you today. I'm at a concert. We know where you live. And we have, but please do. Put it on vibrate if you can't be totally unattached to it. Please stand, if you can, for our Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please stay standing for the Star-Spangled Banner. are going to continue with the preamble to the Declaration of Independence. I will start and Ina Kuta will continue. Sit down. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. Thank you.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. They are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundations on such principles, and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness.
We continue our program, but now with the singers, with our conductor, Lina Lerman, with the narrator, Adrian Green, and with our accompanist, of course, Peter Dino.
On behalf of the singers, we are pleased to present this program to celebrate our country's independence with all of you. We start with "This Is My Country," followed by "America."
I see some uniforms in the back wanting to sit. We have seats. If you are either the cops or the fire department, please come and sit in the, you've missed being applauded, so come right up in the front, and so that we can applaud you as you come down. Come down. You can leave the chairs. There we go. Yay, there we are, right? Well, I have to take it back because, well, no, I'm not. I said they really hit it right that they are sending over the cutest people from the fire department 47. Now, give them some applause for being the cutest fire people.
Okay, we're singing My Country 'Tis of Thee. If I Had a Hammer was written by Pete Seeger and Lee Hayes in 1949 in support of the progressive movement. Many of you will remember it best when it was sung by Peter, Paul, and Mary in 1962. The House I Live In was a 10-minute short film made to oppose anti-Semitism at the end of World War II. It starred Frank Sinatra, who sang the title song. His recording became a national hit. Its message speaks of respect for all religions. The introduction to our next selection, This Is a Great Country, was written by our poet laureate, Bill Sullivan. The song, This Is a Great Country, will be followed after that, and it will be a salute to the Statue of Liberty. Give me your tired, your poor. if you're poor. Lee Brower will tell us about the signers of the Declaration of Independence. Have you ever wondered about the 56 men who signed the Declaration of Independence? They signed and pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor. They gave you and me a free and independent America. The history books never told you a lot of what happened in the Revolutionary War. We didn't just fight the British. We were British subjects at the time, and we fought our own government. Perhaps you can see now why our founding fathers had a hatred for standing armies and allowed the Second Amendment for everyone to be armed. What kind of men were they? Of the 56 men who signed, 24 were lawyers and jurists. 11 were merchants. 9 were farmers and a large plantation owners. Men of means, well educated. But they signed the Declaration of Independence knowing that the penalty would be death if they were captured. There were 3 from Delaware, 9 from Pennsylvania, 5 from Massachusetts. New Hampshire had 3, Rhode Island 2, New York had 4, Georgia had 3, Virginia had 7, North Carolina 3, South Carolina 4, New Jersey 5, Connecticut 4, and Maryland 4. And what should we take from all of this? The signers of the Declaration of Independence did take a huge risk in daring to put their names on a document that repudiated their government, and they had every reason to believe at the time they might be hanged for doing so. That was a courageous act we should remember and honor on the 4th of July amidst our sales, picnics, and baseball games. But we should also not lose sight of the fact that many men and women, other than the 56
signers of the Declaration of Independence, some famous and most not, risked and sacrificed much, including their lives, to support the revolutionary cause. The hardships and losses endured by many Americans during the struggle for independence were not visited on the signers alone, nor were they any less ruinous for having befallen people whose names are not immortalized on a piece of parchment. So take a few moments, if you will, while enjoying your 4th of July holiday, and silently thank these patriots. It's not too much to ask for the price they paid. And remember, freedom is never free.
The song Freedom is from the Broadway musical Shenandoah, first seen in 1974. The show depicted the hardships of a family during the Civil War. In conjunction with this song, Phyllis Foreman will then read from the Gettysburg Address. First, Freedom.
Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives, that that nation might live. We here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government
of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Thank you, Phyllis. That was lovely. The singers are proud to salute the various branches of our armed forces. Please feel free to stand when I announce a branch in which you or your loved one has served. The first branch we will speak of today and sing about is the Coast Guard. Thank you. Our pianist, Peter Dino, will now play a selection appropriate for this day, American Patrol. Thank you, Peter, that was terrific. This Land Is Your Land is one of the United States' most famous folk songs. It was written by Woody Guthrie in 1940. It is said he was tired of hearing God Bless America sung by Kate Smith in the 1930s. So we will now sing This Land Is Your Land, and it will be followed by I Am an American and America, I Love You. Now, I am an American.
I am from the heart of me.
We're going to sing America, I Love You, and as a side comment, I wanted to tell you that when Ray Cohn was still with us, this was a song that her mother used to sing to her when she came over from the old country. This was one of the first songs her mother ever sang to her. And every time I hear this song and I sing it, I think of Ray, may she rest in peace, and I think of this song, America, I Love You. Irene is now going to tell us all about the origins of Yankee Doodle.
Well, this is one of my favorite little stories. This comes right out of the Revolutionary War. I mean, was written then. The song Yankee Doodle dates from then. The British from England, with their neat matching uniforms, made fun of the British born in America in their ragtag outfits. So the British called the Patriots Yankees and Doodles, meaning fools. Now, macaroni. Now, some people think, well, this is just a children's song, but it had a meaning. When we sing, the Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his cap and called it macaroni. This did not mean that they filled their caps with pasta. I mean, I'm sorry if that's what you believe, but it's not so. Macaroni referred to Italians at that time. The British were visiting Italy to get culture. And the Italian young set, the ones who really knew what to wear, their habit was to wear extremely high, I can't do this without my hand, high wigs. In those days, they wore wigs, and these powdered wigs. And they usually had them, just around their ears and what have you. But these young men wore these high wigs with a little hat right on top. And you could not, and I'm not making this up, you could not tip your cap to a lady coming by unless you had your sword with you and could take the sword and reach up and raise your hat from above this wig. And so the idea that the British had, who wrote the lyrics to this thing, so that the doodles, the tools of the Americans, wanted to prove that they too could be dandies, and so they put a feather in their cap and called it macaroni, because that's what the Italians call themselves, macaroni. This is all different, and that's the truth. That's not what I told the group behind me the other day. That's what I made up. But this, I have to apologize to them because I was so sure of myself. And the history involved with this is, with ragtag and all this, the British marched to the battles of Lexington, Concord, and Bunker Hill. And at that time, the British sang the chorus of this song to make fun of the Yankees heading for the same battlefield, except that the Yankees won. And so all the British in their fancy uniforms marching in line had to go back the other way, and the Yankee Doodles were singing this right back to the British and calling them fools. The rest of the song, which you will sing along with us, has to do with what an observer back in the Revolutionary War time saw himself when he went to downtown New York to see how Washington was getting the troops ready for the Battle of New York. So this is a very historical thing to do, and we hope that you will, please sing with us, if even just the chorus, sing with us.
We are going to sing America the Beautiful. Please join us.
Oh,
The song, God Bless the USA, was written and recorded by Lee Greenwood in 1984. It got renewed popularity after 9/11 and the invasion of Iraq in 2003. We will sing God Bless the USA. I'm going to do a short reading about the flag, but I'd like to dedicate this reading today to the children of Stoneman Douglas High School, the people of the Tree of Life Synagogue, the Orlando nightclub people, and the people of Charlottesville, Virginia. This flag, the symbol of the hopes of man, this cloth of dreams for freedom, justice, and opportunity. Its stars are like beacons guiding us through the shoals of adversity. Its red stripes like wounds of struggle. The good in it cannot be had for nothing. Like any garden, it must be tended. Like any loved one, it must be held. Hold this flag high and keep its promise bright, for in it lies the best hope for all of us. We conclude this program today with the singing of Your Grand Old Flag and God Bless America.
I would like to mention before we do God Bless America together, that we have 2 concerts coming up that we would like to see all of you, including our guests from the fire department and cops. Our next one is September 11. And we have a memorial for 9/11. And then there is the Veterans Day program that we have on November 11th for the veterans of all wars, and we would like to see everybody there again. The singers of Palm Isles are proud and pleased to be able to do this for the community. Again, there is no charge. We want to see you either in the theater or down here. Now, please do join us in God Bless America.